Hey guys, this is RLS98 and here is Hound from Transformers The Last Night. Anyways, just to get this out of the way, I am not going to do instructions for him. And if I were to do them, you guys would have to wait like a few months before I get to them at all. And because, I don't know, I don't feel obligated to make instructions for all my Transformers. And another thing is, please don't give me any more requests for The Last Night. I made a whole vlog on that, and I just pretty much listed all the Transformers I'll be making in that video, so please don't give me any requests below. Anyways, I'm Hound here. He turned out much better than my Age of Extinction version, and he's has a new vehicle mode, and this is a Mercedes Unimog tactical vehicle. I want to wait after the movie came out because all his toys showed him with these two big cannons on the back, and turns out he never had them in the movie, so I just went with the big truck bed, and yeah. I think that was based off a concept art, and once again, he's a heavy retool of my Age of Extinction version, and it's more obvious in robot mode, but yeah. Anyways, this guy has 4 big wheels instead of the 6 wheels he has, and they're pretty big, and I used this cool tire technique and put a big tire on top of the smaller tire. I definitely seen this before, like someone do this, so if you have done this before, I'll give you credit. I just can't place where I seen this from. Anyways, they roll very well. Yeah, very big, heavy-duty tires. And one thing is, I tried to make his red cross without using any prints or anything, but I couldn't come up with any like really good solutions, so I just left it as this. This is really like simplified, and I might try to find a printed piece with a red cross on it if I get time, and just pretend to have like license issues or something like the toys. It's weird he has a red cross because in the movie he never acted as a medic at all, which is strange. Anyways, yeah, now we get to the back. It is very messy. The big problem with the Age of Extinction version, the hands stick out, and mine, the hands also stick out. If I wanted to cover them up, the vehicle mode would be pretty much longer, and yeah. He's also really hollow here. He has a big crack down the middle, and I put a little tail lights there, which are cool. Big problem I had with him is that I couldn't get everything to be olive green because olive green doesn't come in that wide variety of colors. That's the same problem I have with my Age of Extinction version. And I also missed out on a few other details. You can see the front grille, the lights, his big plow in the front. I wonder if they have 1x1 Mercedes like logo tiles. I don't know if they do. I couldn't get his mirrors in for transformation and the little lights on the top. I could keep the roll cage, which is important for robot mode. He looks fairly solid. He is solid, just that like everything doesn't look very cohesive anywhere. And for a size comparison, let's say I have a little minifigure, is a little stormtrooper. He's kind of minifigure scale. I think a little smaller than minifigure scale. And then we have Crosshairs, and they look pretty well. Crosshairs is one of the bigger cars I've made, and Hound does look a tiny bit small. And I also have Optimus Prime from the first 3 movies. Pretty big. Anyways, let's get down to the transformation. Transformation is actually really similar to his Age of Extinction version. Everything ends up in the same place pretty much. I originally was going to follow the Last Night Voyagers toy until actually I saw the movie, and when he transforms, the front of his vehicle mode becomes like his chest area, and I wanted to go with that. And plus, it was much easier to borrow from the Age of Extinction version than create my own transformation. Anyways, let's start. First, you gotta take this whole top section, fold it up, and just plop it down here. You see, this is similar to the Age of Extinction one. Next, you gotta come to the sides and kind of just peel this panel away from the arms. This part just tabs into the Technic pin, and same for the other side. Now you gotta take the roll bars and fold them up. And this whole back section just comes right down, and deal with that later. Anyways, how you get to the legs. This clip holds 2 legs together, so you gotta just kind of get your fingernail there and break it down. And you gotta fold the legs down. And you're gonna see what's going on here. These swing forward. But before you do that, just like my Age of Extinction version, in a similar way, the whole top opens and you rotate the windshield around to reveal the head. You fold this all up. Like that. Oops. And then you gotta take the flick bar missile part that fell off and put it back on. And this arm locking mechanism is much better than my Age of Extinction version. You take out this little pin here, you fold these down, and you swing this section up, and this part will clip right into here. It holds together very nicely. Same for the other side. You put this out, and this will clip right into here. And now you take the legs around the click hinge, you gotta bring this up, and this little piece will actually fit right into the gap here where his head used to store. Like that on the click hinge. And then you gotta take the arms, rotate them around, flail them out a little, and then bend at the elbow. Now we get to the back. This whole section folds down. You gotta pinch the wheels in like this. On the ball joint, this section rotates around and folds up. All this kind of just squishes in here. This just sits there, very compact. And next for his belly, just gonna move the arms out of the way a little bit. These sections fold around like this. And you kind of just fold it in here, and they'll kind of just sit in here, kind of complete the whole waist. And these will be his like utility belt ammo box things. Okay, and for the other side, get this around, and then you curve this piece in, and it kind of just goes right into there. And last but not least, his legs. They're a little bit more involved this time. This section shifts down, and you can see on this slider hinge here, and just like the Voyager tour, this portion rotates in and forms part of the feet. And in this section you can shift to the middle. This section shifts up and folds back to complete the area where the wheel used to be. And same for the other side. I really like this leg transformation. This shifts down, rotate around, shift this up, center the foot, and the panel just collapses back. I really like how that turns out. And getting Hound to stand, and you pull out the kneecaps a little bit. Here's Hound in his robot mode. And robot mode is very nice, and as you can see, he's pretty much the same thing as the Age of Extinction version in robot mode. A lot of parts were borrowed, like the basic structure, like his arms, his head, kind of his chest and his legs. They're all pretty much the same, like in appearance. And yeah, he's still really fat. He got all his like gear and stuff. I got his harness down, which is very nice. I like how that turned out. And his little like pouches, and I think it's like a grenade. I tried to fit more details. He's definitely more messy in the movie, but since he turns into a clean truck, like it was really tricky for me. Anyways, I kept the head the same. Of course, I could switch it out with one with a cigar inside. I might show that off later, not in this video. And his back is very nice. It sticks out quite a bit. He's a bit chubby, but it's pretty compact. And the wheels end up here. Yeah. And he stands really well thanks to the rubber wheels. Actually, they keep him in place pretty nicely. And yeah. Anyways, articulation is pretty much the same as Age of Extinction. He isn't too articulated. Well, he is a big guy, so gotta fold this up. Knee can't bend any further. And inside here, these are kind of like the hubcaps, because in the movie, his tires kind of unfold and like become the feet. So this is like supposed to be like a fake hubcap, and the whole wheel forms the whole feet, like the Voyager kind of, except this extra part sticks out. So yeah, because I can't take apart Lego tires in any way like that. And his arms are pretty articulated. This is a very weak spot, how his arms are made in order to fit nicely into vehicle mode. have a nice like geometry. His elbow bends fairly good. Stuff gets in the way though. And his head can't really turn. You gotta lift it up quite a bit for it to turn like that, because it's on the ball joint in the back. Yeah, and Hound, let's get to some weapons. And of course, I kept the same weapons from Age of Extinction. I don't think he has anything new. He has these two little pistols, and these actually, just like my Age of Extinction version, go on the side. They can be left in vehicle mode for transformation. And these just tab right into here, and there's little pistols. And you got these two bigger guns. You can store them in the back, just like my Age of Extinction version. This kind of just tabs into here. Get him, move the arm a little. And here's this big chain gun. The only problem with this, he has trouble holding it with two hands. It takes a while to get him to a good position, so I won't do it for the sake of this video. You gotta open his fingers. And this clip will go right into his palm right here. Just fold in like that, and see the arm's getting a bit loose. It comes off easily like that. It's a big weakness, but everything else is stable. There he is with his big gun. It definitely should be bigger, but I just didn't have time to modify it as much. Anyways, let's end this video with a little size comparison. First of all, you got a minifigure, which is pretty small. Now, I did have an Isabella minifigure. Should sit pretty nicely on his shoulder, but yeah. Anyways, besides that, let's bring in the rest of the Autobot gang. First of all, we got B. Got Crosshairs. And we have Drift. Move him over a little bit. And then we have Optimus Prime. There you go. And here's Autobots Reunite, the Last Night edition. They all look very nice together, and they're much better than their Age of Extinction counterparts. Well, except Optimus, because he is his Age of Extinction version. But I think I'm after Hound here. I think I'm done with all the Autobots pretty much. The only one I really need to do is update this guy, which will come later after I do more Decepticons. And this should be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed Hound, and yeah, I'd say since I will be doing more Decepticons, I did tease this on Instagram. I wonder who this could be. Not sure if that's going to be my next Transformer, but I'm still working on him, and yeah, that should be it for this video. Once again, this has been Arnumbillis98. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.